Life in the UK test. Mock Exam 1. Real practice questions and answers. Are you preparing for the Life in the UK test? This mock exam is designed to simulate the real test and help you practice answering questions under exam conditions. In this video, you'll take a realistic Life in the UK practice test with questions based on the official Life in the UK Handbook, covering important topics from all chapters of the exam. Whether you are applying for British citizenship or indefinite leave to remain, this mock exam will help you test your knowledge and identify areas where you need more revision. This mock exam includes questions from the values and principles of the UK. What is the UK? A long and illustrious history. A modern, thriving society. The UK government, the law and your role. To pass the real Life in the UK test, you need 18 correct answers out of 24 questions. Practicing mock exams like this is one of the best ways to prepare and build the confidence you need before the real test. Let's start. Which country's flag is not part of the Union flag? Wales, Ireland, Scotland, England. Wales. The Welsh dragon is not part of the Union flag. The Union flag consists of 3 crosses. The Cross of St. George, patron saint of England, is a red cross on a white ground. The Cross of St. Andrew, patron saint of Scotland, is a diagonal white cross on a blue ground. The Cross of St. Patrick, patron saint of Ireland, is a diagonal red cross on a white ground. The Union flag is also known as the Union Jack. The crosses of the 3 countries combined form the Union flag. What is known as Lent? The 40 days before Easter. The 40 days after Christmas. The 40 days before Christmas. The 40 days after Easter. The 40 days before Easter are known as Lent. Who is credited with the introduction of the National Health Service, NHS, in 1948? David Hume. Florence Nightingale. Aneurin Bevan. Winston Churchill. Aneurin Bevan. In 1948, Aneurin Bevan, the Minister for Health, led the establishment of the National Health Service, NHS, which guaranteed a minimum standard of healthcare for all, free at the point of use. The Speaker is an MP. She represents a constituency and deals with constituents' problems like any other MP. True or false? True. The Speaker is neutral and does not represent a political party, even though he or she is an MP, represents a constituency and deals with constituents' problems like any other MP. What is the judiciary responsible for? Deciding whether a person is guilty. Looking after a jury. Putting people in prison. Interpreting the law. Interpreting the law. Judges, who are together called the judiciary, are responsible for interpreting the law and ensuring that trials are conducted fairly. When did the Habeas Corpus Act become law? In 1685. In 1687. In 1679. In 1683. In 1679. The Habeas Corpus Act became law in 1679. This was a very important piece of legislation which remains relevant today. Habeas corpus is Latin for you must present the person in court. The act guaranteed that no one could be held prisoner unlawfully. Every prisoner has a right to a court hearing. Which of the events is the bombing of English cities by the Germans? The Blitz. The Dunkirk Spirit. D-Day. The Battle of Britain. The Blitz was the German Air Force bombing London and other British cities at nighttime. The phrase, the Blitz spirit, is still used today to describe Britons pulling together in the face of adversity. One TV license covers all of the equipment at one address, but people who rent different rooms in a shared house must buy a separate TV license. True or false? True. One TV license covers all of the equipment at one address, but people who rent different rooms in a shared house must buy a separate TV license. Why is it called the Glorious Revolution? Women were given the right to vote. Because of new technological advances. Because there was no fighting. Because of new achievements. Because there was no fighting. This event was later called the Glorious Revolution because there was no fighting in England and because it guaranteed the power of Parliament, ending the threat of a monarch ruling on his or her own as he or she wished. When did the UK leave the EU following the Brexit vote? In 1957. In 2020. In 1987. In 1973. In 2020. The European Union, EU, originally called the European Economic Community, EEC, was set up by 6 Western European countries, Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg and the Netherlands, who signed the Treaty of Rome on the 25th of March 1957. The UK originally decided not to join this group but it became a member in 1973. After UK's Brexit vote in 2020, there are now 27 EU member states. Which of these venues is located in Greenwich? The SECC. The O2. Auditorio de Tenerife. The Copenhagen Concert Hall. The O2. There are many large venues that host music events throughout the year, such as the O2 in Greenwich and the Scottish Exhibition and Conference Centre, SECC, in Glasgow. When was the first British Prime Minister, Sir Robert Walpole, in power? From 1742 to 1746. From 1714 to 1721. From 1707 to 1714. From 1721 to 1742. From 1721 to 1742. The first man to be called Prime Minister was Sir Robert Walpole, who was Prime Minister from 1721 to 1742. Which country's national flower is a thistle? Northern Ireland. England. Scotland. Wales. Scotland. A thistle is a national flower of Scotland. Who developed ideas about economics during the Enlightenment period which are still referred to today? David Hume. Adam Smith. James Watt. Isaac Newton. Adam Smith. Many of the great thinkers of the Enlightenment were Scottish. Adam Smith developed ideas about economics which are still referred to today. David Hume's ideas about human nature continue to influence philosophers. Scientific discoveries, such as James Watt's work on steam power, helped the progress of the Industrial Revolution. Magistrates and Justices of the Peace, JPs, are members of what? Law Society. Local Community. Ruling Party. Police Force. Local Community. Magistrates and Justices of the Peace, JPs, are members of the local community. In England, Wales, and Scotland they usually work unpaid and do not need legal qualifications. They receive training to do the job and are supported by a legal advisor. A 2-minute silence is observed on Easter to commemorate the death of Jesus Christ. True or false? False. Remembrance Day, the 11th of November, commemorates those who died fighting for the UK and its allies. Originally it commemorated the dead of the First World War, which ended on the 11th of November 1918. People wear poppies, the red flower found on the battlefields of the First World War. At 11:00 a.m. there is a 2-minute silence and wreaths are laid at the Cenotaph in Whitehall, London. Peers nominated by the Prime Minister can only serve for their lifetime. True or false? True. Since 1958, the Prime Minister has had the power to nominate peers just for their own lifetime. These are called life peers. They have usually had an important career in politics, business, law or another profession. Life peers are appointed by the monarch on the advice of the Prime Minister. Which 2 countries took part in the Battle of Agincourt? France. Scotland. Wales. England. France and England. English fought a long war with France, called the 100 Years' War, even though it actually lasted 116 years. One of the most famous battles of the 100 Years' War was the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, where King Henry V's vastly outnumbered English army defeated the French. The English left France in the 1450s. What religion were Puritans? Jews. Buddhists. Catholics. Protestants. Protestants. Puritans, a group of Protestants who advocated strict and simple religious doctrine and worship. Which tribes invaded Britain after the Romans had left? The Vikings. The Jutes and the Anglo-Saxons. The Celtics. The Normans. The Jutes and the Anglo-Saxons. The Roman army left Britain in AD 410 to defend other parts of the Roman Empire and never returned. Britain was again invaded by tribes from Northern Europe, the Jutes, the Angles, and the Saxons. Who can nominate life peers? Select 2. The Prime Minister. The Monarchy. The Speaker. Leaders of other main political parties. The Prime Minister and leaders of other main political parties. Since 1958, the Prime Minister has had the power to nominate peers just for their own lifetime. These are called life peers. Life peers are appointed by the monarch on the advice of the Prime Minister. They also include people nominated by the leaders of the other main political parties or by an independent appointments commission for non-party peers. Name the most famous cricket competition, which is a series of test matches played between England and Australia. Lords, Ashes, Classics, Masters. Ashes. The most famous competition is the Ashes, which is a series of test matches played between England and Australia. What country did Hitler invade in 1939? The USA, Poland, Italy, USSR. Poland. The British government tried to avoid another war. However, when Hitler invaded Poland in 1939, Britain and France declared war in order to stop his aggression. In England and Wales, the small claims procedure is an informal way of helping people to settle minor disputes, claims of less than £2,000, £10,000, £4,000, £3,000. £10,000. The small claims procedure is an informal way of helping people to settle minor disputes without spending a lot of time and money using a lawyer. This procedure is used for claims of less than £10,000 in England and Wales, £5,000 in Scotland and Northern Ireland. How did you do? Remember, to pass the real life in the UK test, you need at least 18 out of 24 correct answers. If you scored close to that or higher, you're already on the right track. If not, don't worry, every mock exam you practice helps improve your knowledge and confidence. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and soon you'll be fully ready for the real test. If this mock exam helped you, give the video a like. Share your score in the comments. Subscribe for more life in the UK test mock exams and study guides. Good luck with your preparation, and I'll see you in the next video.